Yeah, yeah. Making her way to the mic. They start dimming the lights. You start feeling alright. From Birmingham, home of the Teddy Longs and the Ruben Studders. More once you discover. For all of the lovers, Whitney Houston and Roman Reigns. For all of the lovers, and Mickey James and Marvin Gaye. For all of the lovers, and Sasha Banks, Janelle Monáe, Silk, Sonic, and Paige. Yeah. Making her way to the.
Okay, so for the life of me, I don't understand why that just happened. My theme song decided it wanted to play twice, but we're gonna move on. Welcome to a new episode of the Hardy Wrestling Podcast Extra with your girl Stephanie Hardy, of course, the creator and founder of HWP. And I'm here with my co-host, the amazing and talented Bianca Addison. And we are here to get into the ins and outs and the nitty-gritties of the Royal Rumble this year. So Bianca, how are you? And how excited are you for this weekend?
I'm well, and thank you for asking. And I'm really, really excited about the Royal Rumble. I'm very stressed about the Royal Rumble. I'm very anxious about the Royal Rumble because it's like a lot of people. I'll feel like a lot of people, I'll feel like it's gonna make me mad. But I'm here for the ride. I'm really excited about it. We're on the road to WrestleMania, so it's getting real up in here, and it's in another country.
Mm-hmm.
That's different. That's a topic for another day. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited, and I love when PLEs or pay-per-views or what have you are on weekends in like the early mornings. It's just a vibe to it. There's just something about that. We eating breakfast, like a special breakfast during the PLE pay-per-view.
Yeah, it's like a brunch type of vibe. Because there are some people I know who are having brunches in their respective cities, like Wrestling Wind Down. And I also believe, if I'm not mistaken, the Jobber Tears podcast is actually having a brunch watch along for their Royal Rumbles for the Royal Rumble this weekend. So shout outs to them for that. And if you're in Las Vegas and New York, please go to those events. But yeah, we also have Al Guay Taqueria Bar here in Alabama who's having a watch along as well. So if you want to go there and patronize that wrestling themed taco business, you can do that. So yeah, like it's a brunch vibe whenever you're getting to watch a wrestling event in the early part of the afternoon or in the early morning. There is a vibe, a Saturday morning type of cartoon or wrestling vibe to it that feels really good.
Yes.
So I am really excited about it. It's very different. There's a different vibe to it that we are going to get into, but like you said, it's going to be awesome. And we're not going to start off being negative about it, even though there are a lot of fears and a lot of speculation, a lot of crazy questions that people have, like who's going to show up. Is the Royal Rumble going to be cool for the women? Is it going to be cool for the men? Is it not going to be that good? I think we have to really retrain ourselves to not be prepared for everything to go wrong. As wrestling fans, we really have to learn how to really just enjoy things and enjoy the ride, because it's like you said, it's the road to WrestleMania, and WrestleMania, for better or for worse, is always something fun to look forward to. And the fact that the Rumble is even here this quickly blows my mind, because I feel like the year just started, but we
Right?
are on day 29. Oh my God, it's really nuts. But here we are in the today of things, and we are getting ready and excited for the Royal Rumble, which is taking place this Saturday on ESPN in the United States and Netflix everywhere else, or wherever VPNs you decide to use. Also, let me just say thank you to all the viewers who are watching us live. And of course, if you can't catch us, right now, you can catch us later on the HWP YouTube, but I will give you all the information later. So as you can see, all of the faces and the latest and greatest that we love are set to possibly participate in the Royal Rumble this year, which is for the very first time taking place outside of North America. Of course, the Royal Rumble has traditionally taken place in the United States or in North America, but this year, for the first time, it will be held in Saudi Arabia. It is, of course, the 14th event the 14th event that has taken place in Saudi Arabia, and the second to feature a Royal Rumble match after the greatest Royal Rumble, which took place in 2018, which, you know, some of us may or may not remember, because during this time when it came to creative, a lot of people were kind of tuned out of WWE at this point. They felt like it was a little bit too much, a little bit too cartoony or whatever. But either way, this was a pay-per-view that sets one of the pay-per-views that set the precedent for what we're seeing from Saudi Arabia now. It was the greatest Royal Rumble. This was the first time, I think it was at least more than 31. The second time actually was more than 31 people, because at one point they did have a 40-man Royal Rumble, which I do believe AJ Styles made his debut in, if I'm not mistaken. If I am mistaken, get me together in the comments. Feel free. But, you know, the greatest Royal Rumble took place in Saudi Arabia, and the person who won that historically was Braun Strowman. And he actually won a championship title to hold along with a trophy because he won the greatest Royal Rumble. But the thing is, with him being the greatest Royal Rumble champion, he was allowed to carry the title for that pay-per-view in Saudi Arabia, but never allowed to really carry it on television in the United States. So we really never saw this belt again. It was really interesting how that happened. It's like you have this man win this big thing that took place for the first time in a whole nother country, and he doesn't carry the belt anymore.
Just like Crown Jewel.
Basically, like,
Nobody
yes,
forget that.
exactly. Yes, like Crown Jewel, essentially. Like they'll
What's
win
the
the thing,
point?
they'll get the ring,
Yeah.
you know, but you really don't see them carry it anymore until it's Crown Jewel time again.
No sense at all. Makes no sense. But anyway,
Yeah, but it's okay. It's Braun Strowman's thing. I'm pretty sure he has it somewhere in his house, and that's his accomplishment. We'll never take that away from him. This was in April of 2018. And of course, this Royal Rumble this year is the first of the big four pay-per-views to take place in Saudi Arabia, because of course, next year WrestleMania will be in Saudi Arabia. So this is I I oh wow. I I can't believe it, but then I can believe it at the same time. I think they were sort of getting to that point anyway, but I just didn't think it would be happening this soon. Rikarsha, fan of the pod, thank you so much for watching. Hey girl, I hope you're doing well. So yeah, I feel like they were getting to this point eventually, but I just didn't think it would be this fast. But, you know, at least that crowd will get to enjoy it. You know, they'll enjoy what we've had for such a long time. So I'm not in a place where I can really be as angry about it as some people are. So I'm just like, okay, you're having it in Saudi Arabia. That's fine. Yeah. That's fine. Whatever. Because it's like, I've been to like, how many manias now? 1, 2, 3. So I'm just like, okay, it's whatever at this point. Okay. But yeah, Saudi Arabia is really racking up on all of the amazing moments. But that fan base, you know, I will never say that fan base doesn't deserve any wrestling events. They deserve to have fun just like the rest of the world has fun. So, you know, let's just pump the brakes a little bit and just let people, you know, let people enjoy things. Okay. Let people enjoy things. But yeah, this was also where Titus O'Neil had his viral moment where he fell under the ring while running to the ring for his entrance in the Royal Rumble. And it went viral so much so to the point to where it had like a special feature on WWE.com of him falling. And it was so bad that Corey Graves couldn't even get himself together on commentary. He was laughing so hard. And they kept running it back over and over again. And I just, it's one of, I feel like it's just one of the craziest moments in time where you're just like, oh my God, what in the world?
I did not realize that wow.
Yeah. And he fell under the ring. And I remember them talking about it in like a YouTube special or something, where when it happened, it was almost like they were really afraid for his safety because there's lots of stuff under there. and supplies and everything. And there's also a point where under the ring, there's like a bar where he could have really, really seriously hurt himself, but he didn't. And it made for a viral and funny moment because he was running full speed ahead down there and he just lost his balance and fell. Like, but it happens to all of us. We all lose our balance sometimes and fall. It's okay. We fall down, but we get up, and that's the important thing. So yeah, this was interesting.
Oh,
It was
my
very
goodness.
interesting. It was a very interesting time to be alive at that point.
I know, right?
Yes, Titus worldwide was worldwide in Saudi Arabia. He's like, oh, let's stop. Let's stop before an Omega comes in our chat and be like, hey, now stop it. No disrespect to my Omegas, because I love my Divine Nine. I'm not a member of the Divine Nine, but they have blessed my life in different ways. So, let's not be disrespectful, but that's the thing that Titus O'Neil did used to do. So actually, let's go back to the comments. Malcolm, thank you for watching on Facebook. He says, I'm so hype about the Royal Rumble on my birthday. And after the Rumble, it's off to NXT at the Boutwell. I know, it's really cool. I'm so happy for you that for your birthday you get all of that wrestling. That's so cool.
Happy
I
birthday,
love
Malcolm. Shout out to you.
happy birthday, Malcolm. He is a friend. He is such a great supporter of the pod. He's from here too. And every time I see him, I have to hug him. So I'm just so happy that he gets to have wrestling on his birthday. It always feels personal when you get a great wrestling event on your birthday.
Yeah.
Like this year, it's going to be awesome for me because Money in the Bank is on my birthday weekend.
Come
I cannot
on!
wait. I cannot
Evolution
wait.
was on my birthday last year.
Yeah. That is so great.
And the last one was on my birthday.
What a blessing. That is so awesome.
I keep saying that something like this, when I always say that when things like this happen, we're meant to be fans. We're meant to be WWE fans. We're meant to be in this world. It's like
absolutely,
it's fate.
It is fate, and I just love it. Like it's like, even though this guy is pretty unpopular right now due to some of his stuff that he said on WWE Unreal in the first season, Michael P.S. Hayes actually said he feels like God is a wrestling fan, and I kind of agree with that statement because there are just certain things, that the way that the things line up for us wrestling fans, that just seems very divine in a way that you just can't even speak against it, that the human mind couldn't even dream of putting together. So I really believe God himself, goes out of his way to look out for us in that way, as a wrestling fan himself. So I feel like, the higher power really sees it for us for sure. So big ups to Malcolm, and also big ups to NXT being at the Boutwell. I won't be going because I'll actually be going to an indie wrestling show in downtown Birmingham. Shout out to Retinal Pro Wrestling. They're having an indie show downtown as well. So it's just it's a lot going on here in Birmingham when it comes to wrestling. So I had to choose one or the other, and it was hard, but it's okay because I always love NXT. So let's get into a little bit of history about the Royal Rumble as a whole. So of course, the first ever Royal Rumble took place in 1988 in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Like we did mention earlier, the Royal Rumble has taken place in North America, so it did happen in Canada, the very first one, and it was a TV special, so people were actually able to watch this for free.
Wow.
Back in the day, and it just, oh my gosh, going back in time and just looking at the history of things, it's just like you see how stuff has changed. And can you even imagine being able to watch the Royal Rumble for free? Like, people
could have, if people back in the day were just signing up for the WWE network, then they could watch it for free.
Yeah, it's really crazy. And then it was in direct competition with Jim Crockett Promotions and an event that they were having as well. But yeah, the Royal Rumble, the very first one, was on television. But of course, after that point, it was turned into a pay-per-view /PLE special from that point on. And the first ever winner of the Royal Rumble, in terms of the men, of course, was Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And of course, if know may or may not know him, he's the guy who would walk around with a wooden plank and go, ho, like that. So he was the first ever Royal Rumble winner for the men. And the first ever women's winner was Asuka, and that's more of recent history. That's more recent history because, of course, back in the day, the women did not have a Rumble. So in 2018, that was when the women had their first Rumble, and Asuka was the first winner.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. I was not gonna say like China or something. I didn't realize it was actually Asuka.
Yeah, it was actually Asuka. But I will say this though, you are correct in the idea of bringing up China, because China was the first woman to ever participate in the Royal Rumble, period.
I read about that. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yes. So she participated in the Royal Rumble as a whole, with the men, because she didn't mind intergender stuff. So you were not wrong in bringing up China at all. But, as it pertains to a proper women's Royal Rumble, Asuka is the first ever winner.
Wow, amazing. An immigrant? Yeah!
Exactly. A woman of color won it. And it was so interesting. This was also the same time that Ronda Rousey made her WWE debut. And of course, people have their feelings about Ronda Rousey and whether or not she should have made her debut at that point. But, because a lot of people thought that overshadowed Asuka and her moment. But honestly, I was excited at the time because I loved Ronda Rousey.
Me too.
Because in her UFC heyday, she was the bomb.
Yes.
And you couldn't miss her anywhere. And I just loved her. And then finding out she was a wrestling fan made her even cooler. So I was just like, oh my God, So seeing her come, and make her debut in that way, I was very excited about it. But, people have their feelings about her now. But either way, Asuka will always be the first women's Royal Rumble winner. So yeah, this is just a little bit of the history of it as a whole. But of course, we're not going to do the by the numbers thing that WWE likes to do when it comes to the Royal Rumble, because they actually have more access to smaller points of history when it comes to the Rumble. But in the comments, Rakarsha is saying that the Royal Rumble of 2018 was the first pay-per-view she ever watched live. And that's a great one to start with, ma'am. What a great one to start with, because that one was actually really fun. And it felt like a love letter to women's wrestling, because you had the greats like Jacqueline and Trish and Lita, and Molly Holly in that one as well. Alundra Blaze. It was just a beautiful love letter to women's wrestling when it came to that Royal Rumble. So I enjoyed it very much. It was beautiful. So
the reason why I love the Royal Rumble so much is because it introduces me to superstars that I didn't grow up watching. Mm-hmm. So now I know their names, so I can be fans of them and research them and watch them and catch up on what I didn't watch when I was when I first started watching. Does that make sense? So yeah,
it makes sense.
Everyone coming back, the legends coming back, and everyone saying, you still got it. And the pops for the really big legends who, when they return, it's like Edge. So I look forward to those moments.
Yeah. And I feel like there's a lot of discourse that happens when it comes to legends who have returned for the Royal Rumble. And we'll talk a little bit more about that as it pertains to the Royal Rumble 2020. But I have a lot of fans who I've seen say that they do prefer that they do like it when legends come back. But then I also have I've heard a lot of wrestling fans say that they don't like when legends come back, because they'll be in it for only a little bit and not have an actual fighting chance for the men and the women's Royal Rumbles, because sometimes they'll get eliminated that quick. Because I'll never forget watching the one where Ronda Rousey won the Royal Rumble, and the first two were Mercedes Moné, and then you had Melina. And I would have loved for Melina to have stayed in it a lot longer than she did, because of how awesome she was, and she was still very much in in-ring shape. So it was just kind of why didn't she stay in a little bit longer? So I recognize those feelings as valid. But then you also have your fans who are just like, well, if they feel like a legend is there, then it takes away an opportunity from someone who's younger who could have utilized that exposure.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. But Bianca, how do you feel about it? Do you like it when legends are there?
Like I said, I do. I really do. It's like it brings back a nostalgia. It brings back the nostalgia, and like it's just something about that. It's just so special, and seeing like the pioneers who
paved the way, yeah.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
but like I do see what you're taught. Like why I do understand why viewers don't like it. I mean, I can. I don't want to say it's like a two-way street. We can't win, or like a double-edged sword. But like,
Mm-hmm.
I see where the disagreeers. I see where those people are coming from. But I do. But
Mm-hmm.
I do. But it's still fun seeing them. Seeing them in action.
Yeah, it is fun.
Yeah.
It is fun. And Malcolm in the comments is saying the 1994 Royal Rumble was the first one he watched on pay-per-view. Kudos to Lex Luger and Bret Hart. I'll have to go back and look at that one because something that I am notoriously bad at as a wrestling fan sometimes is looking back at the older things. Like I really do need to take the time to look more at the older pay-per-views just to see how far you've come. Because I'll never forget how fun it was to go back and look at WrestleMania, the first one, and just be like, "Oh my God, look at this!" So so thank you, Malcolm, for chiming in and giving kudos to the '94 Royal Rumble. I was just a baby for that one. I was just a baby for that one. I had not yet turned one, so there's still so much that I haven't seen.
What month was that Royal Rumble?
Oh, I don't know what month the 94 Rumble was. We'll look that up later.
If it was October 94, then never mind. That's TMI. Never mind.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. I've never known the Royal Rumble to be that late in the year. So we'll just have to look that up later. But of course, now we have to go into the history of the Royal Rumble as it pertains to the Hardy Wrestling Podcast, which fed into my reasoning for having this episode be about the Royal Rumble as a whole. So for those who have been listening or watching this show since the beginning, which was February the 8th of 2020, 6 years ago, the Royal Rumble was the first thing that I ever talked about on this show. It was that's the special significance that the Royal Rumble has to HWP. Is the fact that the Royal Rumble was the first thing that I ever discussed and all the events that happened afterward. So in a very special way, the Royal Rumble is important to the foundation of the existence of this show. So as you can see, Bianca, this is what the logo looked like. This is what the logo looked like in the beginning.
I love it, actually. I do.
You do? Oh my God.
I love this girl. I like
girl.
It's very unique. I love the font.
Girl.
I'm not kidding.
Sweetie, I didn't know what I was doing. Back then, I was just a girl who was just trying something and just doing the thing. And this was the very first logo for HWP. It wasn't even HWP back then. It was Hardy Wrestling with Stephanie Hardy, because I really wanted people to get that I was naming the show after myself and the Hardy Boys. And I was just trying really hard to get it. And this background was available on Spotify for podcasters, but back then it was called Anchor. It was the Anchor app, and I was just trying to do anything to just help it stand out in the beginning. But I didn't think it was going to be permanent like this. But of course, as I grew more in the wrestling space, I did update the logo as where it is now. But this was the very first one. And of course, right next to it is the poster for the Royal Rumble of 2020. And on that poster, you see a who's who of who were the major players back then. And it's just so crazy to think about how so many of them are either still there or have taken breaks or have left, or who are also sadly no longer with us. But yeah, this Royal Rumble took place on a Sunday on the Sunday of January the 26th, and it took place at Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. So that was very um big for them because that was in a baseball field, which was, I believe, I don't remember if it's the first time it's been in a baseball field, but either way, it made for a stunning visual for them to have the Royal Rumble in a baseball field because Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin, I know his name isn't Baron Corbin anymore. Tom Peastock is his name. Had a match against each other, and it was a no holds barred match, I think, or a falls count anywhere, and they were fighting all around the baseball field and even fighting in the dugout where other baseball players would be. And for me to be a baseball nerd, it was just like, oh my god, look at this wrestling happening
I
in
love
this
the things that make
baseball field. It just made me very happy to see, even though I hate the Houston Astros, but that's another story for another day. I'm an Atlanta Braves fan. Can't stand the Houston Astros, whatever. But it was really cool to see them do all of that stuff within the space of a baseball diamond. It was just really cool. So this was also sadly the day we lost Kobe Bryant and Gigi Bryant, not to bring the mood down.
No,
But
wait, hold on.
this
It happened
what?
on the same day?
Yes, that
Royal
happened on the
Rumble was on
same
the
day.
Really?
Yeah, that happened on the same day, girl.
I know the Grammys were on that day. I didn't know Royal Rumble
Oh
was on
yeah,
that
the
day.
Royal Rumble. It was a very packed and emotionally charged Sunday. Yeah, the Grammys took place that day, but the Royal Rumble 2020 also took place that day as well. And it was a very heavy feeling. Because for me as a Lakers fan, this was just a very devastating day. For all those families and friends who lost everyone in that tragic crash. It was just a very emotionally heavy day. So to come home from church and then have to deal with this, and then watching the Royal Rumble was an escape. It was a major and much needed escape from the emotions of that day. And I felt it important to mention this because it was a part of the day and because the anniversary just passed. And I just wanted
Yes.
to, and I just wanted to pay tribute to them on here because, like I said, I'm a huge Lakers fan and I love Kobe down. And I really feel like Gigi really would have been the part of the next wave of basketball stars for women, it had she had lived. So I did want to discuss that just a tad bit because it is a part of the emotion of that day. It was a lot. It was a whole lot. But we did get through it. With the Royal Rumble with us as wrestling fans. Charlotte Flair won this Royal Rumble. This is the first time she won. And of course, everybody was, had their feelings about it. But of course, once she won this Royal Rumble, she could choose what championship she could challenge for. And this was really major because, a lot of people were like, oh, she's Charlotte Flair. She doesn't need to win the Royal Rumble. But when she did, she did. And she went on to challenge, or at least Rhea Ripley went on to get in her face and beg her to sort of challenge her for the NXT Women's title, which Charlotte will go on to win at that WrestleMania, which of course did not have anybody there due to the pandemic starting. This was really the last big pay-per-view they had before the pandemic started. It was pretty nuts.
Really weird.
Yeah, very weird. And then of course you have Drew McIntyre who won that Royal Rumble for the men as well. He famously, with the assist of Ricochet, who's with AEW now, helped to eliminate Brock Lesnar, the Pumpkinhead,
Oh,
with a Claymore kick, and then he wound up winning the whole thing and getting his championship chance, which he had fought for so long after getting let go from WWE and then working his way up through the Indies and TNA and then coming back through NXT. And just being and showing that he could be a world champion caliber talent. And he did do that. But I really feel like this Royal Rumble sort of was the catalyst for the Drew McIntyre that we're seeing now, because he went on to win the WWE Championship, but I really can't help but feel that he felt like when he main evented that WrestleMania with there not being a crowd there, it never felt real for him. and his character. So I feel like that was sort of a driving force for him and his motivations moving forward into what we're seeing now with him holding the title now and just gunning for it every chance he had because he wanted to have that big moment. And then, of course, the next WrestleMania that took place, he didn't main event at all. He was on the card, but he didn't main event because that was night one of that next WrestleMania was Mercedes and Bianca, and then night two was I think Roman Reigns versus Edge versus Daniel Bryan, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, Drew had been gunning for a new opportunity for the championship for such a long time. And this Royal Rumble was the catalyst of it. So it was interesting to watch this and then talk about it on the podcast, being a new baby podcaster and then seeing the growth of everything and where we're at now. I talked about it last year because it had been 5 years and that was a major milestone for the show. And then there was just so many things that were tied together last year with this Royal Rumble that it almost made my head explode. I was so excited. It was just so exciting. But yeah, it was just really interesting. And then of course you did have the return of Edge, like you were talking about, Bianca.
I didn't. I was lying. I didn't. I was kidding. I didn't know that. I'm just kidding.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Adam
Really?
Copeland made his big return to the ring after 9 years away, which shocked the socks off of everybody because nobody was expecting him because he had been retired for so long. Also, like, and so he had been retired, he had, you know, done movies and he was just doing other things, being a family man and all the things. Nobody expected him to pop back up, but when he did, oh my God, a shot of adrenaline and a shot of happiness went through all of our souls, and we were just so happy to see him, and it was just so great. So Adam Copeland popped back and it was just really cool. And then he even acknowledged it on Instagram this week where he talked about the anniversary of him making his return and how much of a moment and how special of a moment that is for him even now. So this was a special time.
I still cry every time I watch it. Just that,
right?
And that everything leading up to that, to his ring, from when he appeared and all that commotion, it just makes me cry. Just like how whenever I watch CM Punk's return, every time it makes me cry. Oh my God. Ah!
And then what's even crazier is that I couldn't find the picture of it, but there was this one picture of him where he's standing there and just embracing all of it, of everybody screaming, and his eyes are like really like wide, and he's just like, oh my God, and I'm just like, he's feeling it just like we are. Oh my God, it was just so cool.
Was that after he walked through the smoke?
Yeah, after he walked through the smoke, he was just staring like, like it was just so cool. I was just like, oh my God, Edge, we miss you so much. He was actually he was my first big wrestling crush as I think about it. Yeah, Edge was my first big wrestling crush because back in the day in the 2000s, in like the early SmackDown heyday, he was really goofy and funny, and he had this long hair and he had this gorgeous smile, and I was just like, who is this man? So once upon a time I loved me some Edge. Okay, he could have been one of my husbands. He could have. But it's okay. Beth got him, and that's fine. They're a beautiful couple.
Yeah.
Beth actually participated in this Royal Rumble as well too, and she actually performed while getting a big cut on the back of her head, and kept going until she was eliminated, and that was pretty iconic as well. So Beth Phoenix is a badass, and I miss her too. She's amazing. But yeah. Wow, and then we also had the return of MVP in ring. He made his comeback and dressed up in Black Panther Killmonger type gear, and this was really awesome too because he was a really early favorite back in the day, and he was one of those people when you think of really great United States champions, he's definitely one of them. He held that title for like a very long time, or like held it multiple times and put that title on the map. during his heyday. And a lot of people argued that he really could have been a world champion, but it just never happened for him that way. And of course, now he's with AEW as a manager, with the Hurt Syndicate, formerly the Hurt Business. But this was where we saw him, make his comeback as well. So it was really cool. Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, big ups to MVP. He's an OG who deserves way more flowers than he gets. So, moving on, we also had this iconic moment involving Naomi when she didn't make a return, but I can't remember if she had been gone for a while or what, but she had this beautiful afro, which of course caught the attention of many different African American fans who had not watched wrestling in such a long time, and they were just like, oh my god, like, who is this girl? Her hair is so beautiful. Like, she even caught the attention of Essence magazine and Ebony magazine, and it was just a major moment for her coming back with all the colors and everything with her beautiful fro. Naomi is beautiful no matter what she wears, no matter what hairstyle she has, but the idea of her just popping up with natural hair, it made me feel seen as a person who just loves my afro. It was a beautiful moment for sure. For representation, it was great. Yes. She is such a major standard when it comes to Black women in wrestling, and this is just one of the many moments that further solidifies her greatness.
Yeah. And you don't see this a lot.
You really don't.
So that's why they say representation matters, and then people get mad and be like, why is it always about Ray? Like, come on.
Yeah, and the people who say that are the ones who are the most represented. But but the thing I will also say is this: like, we do see a little bit more of it because you see Kalani Jordan and how sometimes she'll pop up on NXT with her natural hair, and it is so beautiful. Like, every time she pops up with her afro, I just smile on the inside because it is just the most gorgeous hair. Like, like, if I could pick it myself, I would. I'd just be like, oh my god, Kalani, let me do your hair. It's just so beautiful. So I just loved this moment, and I will always treasure Naomi forever. And I hope that her and her baby are doing well, as well as Jimmy. We're sending them all types of positive vibes, and we just can't wait to see her come back, whether it's Feel the Glow or Caution You. It doesn't matter. We love you. We love you regardless.
Yes.
I support Naomi's rights and wrongs.
Me too. Me too, actually.
Oh god. Oh god. I do.
I was with her from the Glow, and I'm here now I'm here for the heel turn and all that.
Caution. Yes.
Yes.
So, and then we also saw Bianca Belair pop up in this Royal Rumble as well with as number 2. And she set a record, I think, for either lasting the longest or the most eliminations in this match as well. And this blessed me because I feel like seeing her, she was on an upward trajectory where you almost just would not there was any way she went, it was the right way for her, because at this point she was still in NXT. She had fought for the NXT Women's Championship multiple times. She was a bona fide star. Of course, her braid made all sorts of waves at this point. And then leading up to the road to WrestleMania at this point into February, when I did start the show, because I did talk about this NXT takeover in Portland, she was set to face off against Rhea Ripley for the NXT Women's Championship again, and that was where she debuted her Black History in the Making outfit. So this was a huge space of time for the EST. Where if she won the NXT Women's title, it would have been amazing for her. But then after this point, she was told that she could have very well been called up to the main roster, and she was. So at this point, Bianca really couldn't have done any wrong with her performance. And it was just so amazing to see her do so well, and to see her rise. And of course, she would go on to win the Royal Rumble the next year, becoming only the second Black person to ever win the Royal Rumble next to The Rock. And And she would, of course, go on to main event WrestleMania against Mercedes Moné, making it the first main event involving two Black women. So Bianca really did her thing here, and her gear was black and gold, and it was just perfect. So she did the dang thing here.
She did.
Mm-hmm.
And her name is one of the most amazing names. Spelled right, said right. Your skin on point. See, every time I see this woman, I always live vicariously through her, because I wanted to be I want to be like I knew I wanted to be like I wanted to be a WWE diva growing up when I was a teen.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to work in WWE at some capacity, and I knew that I'm not mentally equipped to like compete, like wrestle. So like, but like, it's still there. So like seeing this woman having my name and my skin color, it's like it's no coincidence that I'm a fan of this business and working towards that goal, working in this business. Like, seeing my name and someone who shares my skin color and my name, like, girl, oh my God, Mr. and Mrs. Crawford, thank you for bringing this woman to this earth.
Or Mr. and Mrs. Blair. Yeah,
my
because
bad,
Crawford is her married name.
Right.
But
I didn't sound right. Right. Back up. Beep, beep. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Blair, for bringing this woman into this world.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Bianca just gives us life every time we see her, and I'm so happy that you have such a great namesake, Bianca. Like she just makes me happy every time I see her. She brings chills to my skin. I just love her so much, and I hope at some point I can meet her and tell her how much she means to me, and I hope you can do it too, you know, because she's one of my dream interviews. Like I hope at some point I can interview her at some point, or even just meeting her. Yeah. Like I don't even have to interview her. I just want to meet her and just tell her, you know, just how much, you know, she means, because she's just so incredible.
I remember so seeing her for the first when I remember her seeing her with Naomi at the Raw debut on Netflix, which was my first Monday Night Raw. They were posing, and Naomi, they were still tag team champions, and wow. Seeing them in person for the first time, like in close proximity, was so unreal. Oh my God, amazing. Like, it was so cool.
Oh, Bianca, I got a cool story to tell you about Bianca Belair too. So in speaking how Malcolm was talking about the Boutwell Auditorium here in Birmingham, which is a very historic landmark when it comes to wrestling here in our city. NXT actually came here a few years back. I think it was their second time coming, because the first time they came, it was at the concert hall at the BJCC. You don't know what that is. But either way, they came to the Boutwell, and the Street Profits were getting off of the bus that they were all on. The NXT talent were all on at the time, and it was me. And my boyfriend was trying to find a parking space, but it was me and his mother. Shout out to Miss McCoy. And we were standing on the sidewalk, you know, just waiting for him. And the Street Profits get off the bus, and Angela and Montez were talking to us, and, you know, they took pictures with us and everything. And behind Montez, you know, going to the front glass door is Bianca. And she has, but I didn't know this at the time, and she has her hair like in a bonnet, you know, just like a Black woman, just like one of us. She had on a bonnet, and she was just sort of watching and just waiting for him to come on. And later on that night, I saw her, and she was skipping in front of us because we got to sit front row because they encouraged us to move forward and sit towards the front row to fill up the seats. And just seeing her then and just seeing where she is now is just so unbelievable. And then I fell in love with her also in the Mae Young Classic and everything. It's just so insane to see the growth that Bianca has had. And I didn't meet her. We were in the same vicinity of each other. So hopefully that can happen again. But yeah, that's my cool Bianca story. But yeah, hopefully at some point I can get to meet her and also meet Mercedes and just tell them all that they mean to me when it comes to that one match and just them individually, because those two, oh God, just, I love all Black women in wrestling. But, you know, if I had like a top two, it would be Mercedes and it would also be Bianca. And Naomi is like my number three. So it's just, they just make me so proud to just be me in this thing. And yeah, I love her. And I miss Bianca so much. Oh my
Where
God.
are you, girl?
Oh my God. Look, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but we do have to discuss the full circle nature of life, because in talking about how the first topic I talked about on the Hardy Wrestling podcast was the Royal Rumble of 2020, it meant everything to me to be able to represent the Hardy Wrestling podcast as media last year. On the 5th year and go to the Royal Rumble in Indianapolis. Like, it meant the world to me. When I got to Indianapolis, it took everything inside of me not to just start sobbing. Because like I said, when I was talking about the Hardy Wrestling podcast and the Royal Rumble and everything that happened afterward, I didn't know what was possible at the time.
Yeah.
I did not know that at some point people would actually like to listen to me and what I would have to say about wrestling. I did not know that there were others out there, you know, or more of a community of Black women or just Black people as a whole who loved wrestling and had podcasts just like me. There was just a lot that I've been exposed to and a lot that I've accomplished that I just did not know was possible at that time. I started this podcast in my little room, like what Andre 3000 said in his Rock and Roll Hall of Fame speech.
Thank you.
So, yeah, so the idea of it being 5 years later last year and getting to attend as a media member was just one of the greatest moments of my life. And I took this picture because this was in Indianapolis at the Lucas Oil Stadium, and I was just like, it took my breath away because I had been to WrestleMania, I've been to a Survivor Series, haven't been to a SummerSlam yet, but the Royal Rumble just meant everything to me to be there. Not only just for the opportunity to get to interview wrestlers, but just being at the event, just knowing the implications of WrestleMania and what it holds dear. It was just unbelievable. I could not stop. You know, if I think about it too long now, I'll just start crying again and it'll just be like a mess. But but just looking out amongst all these people and just breathing in that, you know, spectacle air, it just meant a lot. And just meeting people. This is also where I've met it's Wheezy Blonde for the first time.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, she was there as a affiliate, as a Twitch affiliate with WWE 2K 25, I think. And she was up there, and that was where I met her for the first time because she's from Indiana. So that was just, it was really cool to see her and meet her. And then I met other media members from the UK and just, you know, and got to reconnect with others from New York and stuff. So it was just an amazing time for sure. Here's more of the pictures that I took. This was because, of course, all over Indianapolis, they had WWE themed street names, and that one said Bloodline Boulevard. There was another one that had John Cena Way and so many others. And that's my press wristband and my Lucas Oil Stadium thing that they had on my Essence bag that I was carrying around. And that's my Gamebridge Fieldhouse band too. Also, I'm trying to figure out a way to keep my bands. It's hard to because it's paper, but still, you know, I try to hold on to them as much as I can. But you know, with stuff moving around, it can be quite hard. But you know, I do my best. And it was really cold up there. It was freezing. It was freezing, but it was worth it. I regret nothing. And of course, I got to interview Nia Jax here. Yeah. Bianca, I think maybe at this point were you even watching me at that point?
I didn't
No.
know you existed until
Oh, you didn't know I was even a person? It's okay. It's okay. Oh Oh man, here we
But
are
here we
now.
are.
Yeah. And a funny story, I don't think I've even ever told this properly on the show. My microphone system that I had was not even charged. I don't know. I think somehow or another I forgot to charge my stuff. But I was still holding the interviews because the thing about iPhones, which is why I will never not get an iPhone now, is the fact that their mic system in the microphone system in an iPhone picks up stuff very strong, and so if you watch the videos back you can still hear me. But in a perfect world I would have loved to have had my microphone charged up and everything, but I was still on the go, still doing the very best that I can. And shout out to Emily May and for Alex and the other WWE superstars for being understanding of me and my microphone situation. And Naya was super nice. She was beautiful. She called me beautiful, which made me feel like extra, extra beautiful standing next to her. Because what do you mean? Like, excuse me, Nia Jax, you're a baddie. So the fact that she called me beautiful made me feel like I couldn't breathe. I could not breathe. It was a major deal. I loved it, and we talked about her and her family, and it was really cool. Then, of course, you move on. I also interviewed Chelsea Green for a second time, and that was fun. She was the United States champion for her first reign. And and she was also very understanding of the microphone situation too. And it was just like, oh my God, thanks. And she was really nice. And we talked a little bit about her fashion choices and, what her plans were for the Royal Rumble and everything. You can go back and watch these interviews on the YouTube channel, by the
I
way.
definitely will.
The Hardy Wrestling Podcast. And sometimes I reshare them, if whatever's going on with them fits within the context. Sometimes I reshare them just for fun. But these interviews really, meant a lot to me at that point. And she was just so sweet and understanding. And I was so excited. And here again, just so very nervous. It was very crowded in there as well because everybody and their mama, from local media to content creators, to writers and all of the above, were all there. Chris Van Vliet was there. Everybody was there. It was just but you just had to skedaddle and make the best use of your time. So it was just an amazing time to be a part of that. And like I said, for the full circle nature of the creation of the show and getting to do that in the 5th year, it meant a lot last year. So big ups to the Hardy Wrestling Podcast. Big ups to all of the work that I've been allowed to do to get to this point, and all the work that I've done elsewhere to get to this point, and hopefully more opportunities like this can happen, not only for me, but for you, Bianca, and also so many other Black women in this wrestling space. But I will carry that accomplishment with me for the rest of my life. And also, this was at this Royal Rumble last year, Charlotte Flair wound up winning for a second time,
Wow.
which is why I was, while everybody online was talking major trash about her winning for a second time, I was happy about it because personally, I had saw her win 5 years prior. So I was like, okay, how amazing is it that I talked about you winning 5 years ago and then you win it 5 years later? Like, it was major for me. And then she was making her return and I was happy about it. Shoot me, I don't care. I was happy that Charlotte won the Royal Rumble last year. And then of course I was also where Jey Uso upset everyone and
Right.
won the Royal Rumble when it looked like John Cena could have, because that was his final one. But which also makes it even more major. But Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble, and we were all in complete shock. We were
Yeah.
screaming in the press box. We were like, "Oh my God, Jey!" It was it was so nuts, but it was so amazing because it was just expecting the unexpected. You just never know what could happen, and that was just a moment in time that I'll always treasure. And then, of course, going on to WrestleMania to see him win that World Heavyweight title, as a single star, someone who had started in a tag team with his brother, and then you go out and win a world championship. Like, that's pretty major. I don't care who you are. I don't care how you feel. That's amazing. So it was just like a who's who that was in that Royal Rumble match, and also the women's too, because Trish
Mhm.
Stratus was there celebrating her 25th anniversary. Nikki Bella made her return. Alexa Bliss made her return. Zelina Vega essentially came with her gear sort of patterned after the Divas Championship. Like, it was amazing. Stephanie Vaquer was in it. Rey Mysterio and Penta had their moment in the Royal Rumble as well at the beginning as number 1 and number 2. It was just lots of major stuff that happened in that Rumble, and I'll always cherish it for life. I will cherish it for life.
I remember watching from my TV and screaming at the and every for the women's match. I remember saying for every participant, AJ, where are you? AJ, where are you?
They were chanting. That's another thing, Bianca. They were chanting for AJ Lee the entire night. Oh my God. Oh my God. I was hoping and praying that she was going to show up that night, because if I was going to be present for that, like, that would have been major, but, selfishly, but she didn't. And, and a lot of people were very passionate about her not showing up. But of course she showed up later in the year. Thankfully, she
Yeah,
showed up later in the year, and it was awesome. But a lot of people were like, "Oh, AJ's gonna show up in the Royal Rumble. AJ's gonna show up in the Royal Rumble. She has to. She has to."
yeah,
And and there's that excitement build up, right? But she did it. But it's okay. She
I
came when
know.
she wanted to come.
Yeah,
Okay, and that was cool. It
it
was
was.
great.
It
It
was
was
like
great. Mm-hmm.
I wore my
So.
shirt that day. My AJ's shirt that day during the match.
Mm-hmm.
And I was prepared to like react, and I was prepared to like, and I was, and I wanted to like react, record my reactions for when AJ appears. Like
Mm-hmm.
every time, every 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, AJ, where are you? AJ,
Oh,
where are you? She never came.
it's
But
okay.
she's here now.
Yeah. As long as we still have fun, because here again, what we're about to do, we're about to go into our predictions for
Yeah.
this year. So as we go into our predictions, it is fun to predict, if our faves could show up in the Rumble or show up anywhere at any pay-per-view, right? But of course, don't be discouraged if they don't come. Let's be good wrestling fans and happy wrestling fans. Like, let's not be discouraged if our faves don't show up in the Rumble. That doesn't mean that they won't ever show up. It
Yeah.
just means they might not show up just right now.
Right.
And that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. So it is okay. I'm just saying, it really is. Like, it's okay. We gotta roll with the punches and just have fun. Okay. We gotta chill sometimes. We just gotta have fun. So, in speaking of the Royal Rumble and how it's, now that we're finished talking about the Royal Rumble and how its foundation helped to build the Hardy Wrestling Podcast and where it is today, we're going to talk about our predictions for this year's Royal Rumble. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm always excited for the Rumble, as you can hear. So, of course, we're going to start with the only women's match on the card, which is, I mean, okay, to a degree. But of course, you never know what could happen on SmackDown. They could change the card a bit and have another women's match. I mean, you never really know. I don't know. You never know. But we've got to talk about the women's Royal Rumble match. As it stands now, the people who have declared for it, I believe Bayley and Lyra Valkyria have declared for it. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss have declared for it. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky have also declared for it. Becky Lynch has declared for it as well. I believe Asuka has, as well as Nia Jax, maybe. So either way, we have a who's who in the Royal Rumble. And then of course you have, and Liv Morgan has declared. So you have a who's who have declared for the Women's Royal Rumble, of course, with a bunch of surprises that you just might have to wait and see who might show up. So, Bianca, I'm going to
Yes.
ask you first. Who do you think could show up as a surprise in the Royal Rumble for the women this year?
Well, AJ Lee is a given. So I'll put AJ for number 1. Just to be messy, Lita. I'm just kidding.
Why was she one of my choices? But I wasn't even thinking about that. I wasn't even thinking about that. Like she was one of my choices as well as a surprise, but I was not even thinking about that part. But I'm pretty sure it's water under the bridge now. So yeah, Lita could show up, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, so we have AJ. Who else could appear? I want a Jazz appearance. That would be cool.
Girl.
Am I missing something? Uh-oh.
No, you're not. Like you spoke to my soul when you said that. When I tell you, if Jazz shows up Saturday, I will scream and throw everything in my vicinity because I love Jazz so much. Like I love her like for real. Like when I talk about wrestlers who have raised me, women's wrestlers who have raised me, Jazz is one of them. And when I tell you seeing her at Evolution blessed me so hard, I was just like, oh my God, Jazz, yes. And then, I also got to commentate for her retirement tour that she did on the Indies. Because she actually came through here in Alabama for the Belladonna division. She came through here and did a match via her retirement tour, and I got to commentate for her. So so getting to do that for her is another honor that I will cherish for sure, because she raised me. And it's just, if she shows up in this Royal Rumble, I will be so happy. You don't understand. A standoff between her and, well, Jade's not in it because she's the champion, but a standoff between her and any woman like Jordan Grace, or just, oh my God, it would bless my soul. Oh my God.
I remember being introduced to Jazz on Instagram, either on Instagram or one of the evolutions. Just seeing her, oh my gosh, like her vibe and just how she carries herself and like her appearance. Oh my God, representing all the different eccentric Black girls with tattoos and piercings. Those are my people. I like her. She's really cool. I really like her. If I've ever met her, that'd be a cool day.
Oh my goodness. She's so gracious, and she's really nice. And she's just so strong. Like that's the thing that I love about her. It's just the fact that she is strong and she carries it well. And so, like, oh my God, if she shows up Saturday, I will lose it. So I'm so happy you said her, Bianca. I'm so happy you said her. Nessa from the Humble Roses saying that would be an amazing surprise. Thank you for watching on Twitter. That would bless my soul for real. But I will say, I will share my prediction to a degree.
Her and Tamina.
Oh, Tamina would be great.
I need her. I need my TT.
Oh, Tamina. I love her. Girl. I love her so much. Oh my gosh, Tamina. I miss her so much. Like, she was cool. One of the things that me and my dad would always talk about is like, we always wanted her and Naya to have like a tag team. I also believe that there is the possibility. I'm not saying I know anything, but I would love it if Bianca, of course, came back and won the whole thing. I would love that. That would be really cool. But actually, before we get further into like predictions, I think my surprise person who I would love to come back would actually hold on, because I'm gonna bring it up. Hold on.
Suspense.
Hold on. So I'm gonna share who I think could very well come back and like just rock my socks off, because she was one of my faves. I think no, she wasn't actually one of my favorites, if I'm being honest. But no, I pressed the wrong button. Hold on, guys. Come on, work. No. Things are crashing again. But I feel like Hold on. I'm
I
gonna share it.
I need to be surprised. I like surprises.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like I'm trying to get it together because here again, my tech is just not doing what it needs to do. Oh, wait, no. We might have something here.
Big.
Please. Okay. So my surprise prediction is actually Soraya, formerly known as Paige. Can you see? Okay, yeah, there she goes. Thank God. Okay, so Soraya is actually my surprise person. I was a huge fan of her back in the day when she was a diva. Because she was known as the anti-diva in NXT in the beginning of NXT. She was the first NXT Women's Champion. She actually didn't lose that championship. She had to vacate it due to her winning the Divas title off of AJ Lee. So I feel like a standoff between her and AJ would literally just get my blood pumping. For the 2010s of it all. There was video of her sort of training a little bit on Instagram. So if she does decide to come back, I'll be like, oh my God.
Freaks and geeks.
Oh my God, I loved her so much. And her run in AEW was it was pretty okay, but I feel like there was a little bit more wrestling wise I feel like she could have done, but I don't know what the ins and outs was of that, but I've always loved her. Like, I loved her so much I made my boyfriend draw like a giant P for her, which I colored in and made a sign out of it and took it to a SmackDown here in Birmingham, and she wasn't even at that SmackDown, but I took it anyway.
You are so real for that. Oh my God.
Exactly. Like, I took it anyway, and it actually wound up on that episode on TV, so I don't care. But literally, like, my boyfriend is an amazing artist. Like, he can visualize and draw things perfectly, and he drew that P perfect, and then I colored in the purple part and everything, so it was perfect. And I still took it with me. Like, I didn't care whether she showed up or not. I was just like, no, like, this is the sign. I'm proud of the sign. This is it. So shout out to Boo for making that. And yeah, if she decides to show up for the Royal Rumble, I'll be super psyched about that. I've seen some people predict they think maybe Dr. Britt Baker DMD could show up.
Ooh, I was yeah.
Oh, that would blow my mind if she showed up, because we haven't seen her on AEW in so long. So if she decides to pop up in the Royal Rumble, child, I might have to turn the internet off. I'm gonna have to cut the internet off because it's gonna break. It's gonna break, and I don't want to see how it's gonna break. I don't want to witness it for real. I just want to sit down and just internalize and just relax, because what do you mean Britt Baker's here? But that would be a sick surprise. So
really
that's really my surprise prediction. I also think there's a good possibility that maybe Brie Bella could show up, to back up Nikki, and just add a little bit of freshness to Nikki's run right now. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
So, call the ambulance. Call the ambulance. The Bellas are coming. The Bellas are coming. Call the ambulance.
I didn't hear that. My bad.
No, it's okay. There are just some noises you can't control, and that's one of them. So it's all right. You'll be surprised. Like with Katrina, she's from New York, so there could be any amount of noise that could pop up at any point. So it's perfectly fine. It is perfectly fine. There's no judgments here.
Okay.
So as I try to get back to everything, in terms of the presentation of life and everything else like that, Bianca, who do you think is ultimately going to win the Women's Royal Rumble?
Oh, I never really thought about that.
It's okay. You can think about it now.
That's a really good question. Okay. I mean,
You throw out a name.
I mean, since Charlotte is in this, Charlotte is a really good, has a really good chance. Again, no shade at all. Who else is in this?
Alexa Bliss is in it.
Alexa Bliss. Is Becky Lynch in this?
Yeah, she is.
She is, right? Okay, so that's right.
Yeah, but she has also won the Royal Rumble before.
Okay, yeah. And
but that's not to say that she can't win it again. I'm just saying, just to throw that out there.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Her, Charlotte. Who else? Oh my God, Alexa Bliss has it. Every woman competing has a chance of winning.
Yeah, it's really hard to think about. I understand your predicament.
Oh my God. I would like to see Roxanne Perez win.
Ooh.
And then her with AJ. Ooh. That would be insane. Oh my God. We need that in our lives.
You know, I actually like that prediction because last year she went all the way.
She did.
Roxanne went all the way, and she was only eliminated by Charlotte in the end. So if Roxanne were to make it all the way, that would also add a wrinkle to the Judgment Day and everything, because Liv at one point wanted to go for the big title, but then of course they then refocused to the tag titles. And if Roxanne did win, that would be an amazing accomplishment for her. That would be great. So I love that prediction.
Me too.
I love that prediction.
Her and Raquel. Oh my gosh, that would be great. But definitely Roxanne for sure.
Roxanne is a good choice. Roxanne is a very solid choice. I like that. But I'm just gonna go ahead and say my prediction. My prediction is actually Bianca Belair coming back from her injury. I don't know how intricate it is. I don't know if it's being kept a secret at this point. But I really feel like if we're looking at another two-time Royal Rumble winner, Bianca Belair is just the perfect choice to me in my mind. I actually wrote an article about this. On Daily DDT, I wrote that I feel like Bianca is perfect for it because she has the perfect storyline going into it, because she could challenge Jade for that women's championship, because they had that tension at Evolution when it came to Jade winning that match and her being conflicted by watching her and Naomi fight each other. And with all the stuff that Naomi said about Jade trying to piggyback off of her, and not being a genuine friend like Naomi was or at least what she thought she was at the time. So there's a lot of layers to it that they could tell if Bianca is well enough to perform. And honestly, I just feel like Bianca is just my big prediction, but of course I could be wrong. She is my big prediction to win the entire thing, but here again, I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong and I'll hold that L. But she's my big prediction.
I will add Bianca and Roxanne to win. Yeah,
two good choices. You can't really go wrong with those two.
No.
My second choice is Liv. Because she has performed well in the Royal Rumble multiple times and she's never won one, so that would be cool for her. And that could cause a wrinkle into things and give Stephanie and Bianca more of, a battle to have, but then also add more wrinkles to the Judgment Day here again, because Raquel has a street fight against Stephanie next Monday. So there's just a lot of wrinkles that could be added if Liv wins this thing. She's the odds-on favorite online. I've seen a lot of people think that it's going to be Liv's year, but you never know here again. So she's my second choice for it. So yeah, that would be cool for her and her villain arc. But then you also have Chelsea Green, and there's a specific reason why I put Chelsea Green here. So Mr. Man, Michael P.S. Hayes, on the second season of WWE Unreal, decided to say that he feels that Chelsea Green couldn't be a world champion in WWE, and her place is to make the world champion look good and make the Tiffany Strattons and the Jade Cargills look good. And I disagree with that wholeheartedly. I 100% disagree with that, because before Chelsea Green even got to WWE in this capacity, this woman worked her way all around the independents, and then worked her way past injury to even continue to work in the indies. She even fought in intergender matches, most famously even against Penta and in Lucha Underground under a completely different persona or whatever. So it's just like there is a lot that Chelsea Green has to add outside of being the goofy heel, that wins championships every now and again and then just makes you laugh and then makes everybody else look strong. If she won this year's Royal Rumble, I would be absolutely happy about that. And I'm gonna need for the powers that be to start taking Chelsea Green a little bit more seriously than just the comic relief girl, than just the personality splash person who's going to make the bigger star look good. She can be a bigger star if you put that behind her. She has the personality, she has the charisma, she has the talent. Just give her the opportunity. Don't just pigeonhole her in one place. So whether Chelsea Green wins the Royal Rumble Saturday, or not, I just wanted to go on the record saying that, because I wanted to speak my piece about that, because I hated hearing it. And Chelsea is a really amazing treasure in the wrestling business, and she's a great woman to have in the wrestling business. She's a girl's girl. She wants to uplift talent, but let's not, pigeonhole her in one place.
I know he said that. I didn't watch Unreal, but I really love Chelsea Green, and I hate that she's getting all this slander. I saw what she about her being a girl's girl. I read that she's the one who gave the female wrestlers opportunities at different promotions.
Yeah, after they got released, yeah.
Yeah. She knows people, so she's looking out for them. So I like more reason to love Chelsea Green, apart from her being so hilarious, and she can wrestle. She can really wrestle.
Yeah, she's a valuable asset. So let's not play her, okay? Yeah. Let's not play with Chelsea Green, babe. Okay. So whether she wins the Royal Rumble or not Saturday, we are fully supporting our female president, because of course the male president now is Carmelo Hayes, because of course she's not United States champion. Carmelo Hayes is. He's the president. I'm his press secretary. But either way, Chelsea, we love you is the point.
Yes.
Another prediction I have is also Alexa Bliss, because there's been a sense of longing that I feel like there's a sense of longing for singles gold that Alexa has been having for a minute after she lost the tag titles with Charlotte, that I've been seeing on SmackDown. It's like she'll be backstage and then she'll be watching Jade, or she'll be watching someone else with like a singles title, and the way that she's looking at it, it's just giving, she really wants, to be a champion again. Which leads me to the notion of me feeling like she could very well turn on Charlotte. And it's going to break my heart, because if it happens that way, or if they turn on each other, it's going to break my heart, because I have fully enjoyed their friendship arc.
Me too.
I have absolutely enjoyed it. So either way, it's going to break my heart regardless. But I feel like if Alexa Bliss won, it would be amazing for her too. Because she's never won the Royal Rumble. So that would be really cool for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, to further solidify herself as a top champion. Because there was a point where Miss Ma'am was winning all the titles. She was out here, Raw Women's Champion, SmackDown Women's Champion. Ironically, she had never been NXT Women's Champion, but still, like she was a top title holder for a while before, of course, she got married and then had her baby and stuff. But, since she's been back, she's been doing the tag team thing, and that's been great for her and Charlotte. But what if she won this Royal Rumble and re-solidified herself as the top girl? That would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, for old time's sake.
Getting Nia mad.
Yeah. And speaking of getting Nia mad, you
Wow.
do have the possibility of a returning Tiffany Stratton, whom we have not seen since she lost the women's championship to Jade at Saturday Night's Main Event. Tiffy time could be on the horizon again. You never know. Yeah. Tiffy time. Cutie pie. She really is a cutie pie for real though. She's really pretty.
She looks good.
Yeah, and then of course you also have Jordan Grace, who has been getting in the crosshairs of Jade Cargill, our women's champion, for the past couple of weeks. So it would be amazing if she won because, of course, she made one of her debuts, I believe, in the Royal Rumble as a TNA Knockouts champion. So I feel like if she were to go on and win the whole thing, that would be really cool for her as well.
She looks like a Royal Rumble winner.
She really does. And I want her to win more things because I feel like ever since she's been on NXT, she just hasn't been winning the stuff. And it's just been irritating me. And I'm just like, no, like Jordan Grace deserves some gold. Like, when is this gonna happen? Like, when? Like, I'm ready for it to happen now. So Jordan Grace could very well win the Rumble. That's another great choice. Her versus Jade will just give me all the muscles that I need in my life. Because they both look so amazing and in the best shape of their lives. So I need it. I need it. And I did mention Saraya possibly as a surprise.
Now, will she
and of
be
course,
going back at Saraya or Paige?
Oh, I don't know. You never know, really, because I mean, you do have people who come back under their old WWE name, but then you have people who come back under their new names too.
Yeah.
Like Matt Cardona did.
Yes.
So you just never know. You never know. And like I did mention, Brie Bella, could get back into the fold of things. That would be really cool. We could see Brie mode. That would be awesome. And then a part of me thought maybe Eve Torres could come back because we did see her at Saturday Night's Main Event for John Cena's final match. We haven't really seen her in the ring in a minute, so it would be really cool if she made a return in the Royal Rumble as a legend. So that would be awesome. So those are really all of my surprise predictions or, maybes for winners and stuff that I wanted to mention. Yeah, Eve Torres was like a multi-time Divas champion back in the day. So yeah, that would be cool if she came back. Yeah.
And Alicia Fox. Or was it Veronica?
Victoria Crawford? It's Victoria Crawford, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's up there as well. So yeah, this Women's Royal Rumble has a lot of possibility tied to it, and I'm very excited. So as we move forward, with predicting more of the men's matches, we have Sami Zayn versus the unhinged, undisputed WWE champion Drew McIntyre in the title match. Now, this made me feel some type of way because I wanted Sami Zayn. Okay, I was predicting that Sami Zayn could win the men's Royal Rumble here because he would be amongst his Muslim brethren. Because that would just be an amazing opportunity for him to do that. But the fact that he won that fatal 4-way at Saturday Night's Main Event, and he has the guaranteed match against Drew, who just won the championship, I'm just like, bruh. I don't think this is gonna go well for Sami, and it makes me sad because he's been lobbying to be a world champion for the longest time, and he deserves it, and I want him to get it so bad. But Drew McIntyre has been out here acting like a demon from hell, and it's just like, I just don't know. My prediction is that sadly, I think Drew McIntyre is going to retain the title. And,
Agreed. Yeah.
And Sami is going to give it a really great try for his people and everything, but I really feel like Drew is going to retain, and I feel like he's going to retain in a dirty way too.
I agree.
Yeah, I feel like he's going to retain in a dirty way and then hit the Claymore and then win that way. And it makes me sad to say, but I really feel like that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
What are your predictions, Bianca?
Yeah, I think, because like in a perfect world, I mean, one day, yeah, Sammy, sadly, Drew will retain. I hate to say it. I don't like to say it. Because that's how it is. So I'm speaking from what I know, from experience,
Right.
from what I see. I mean, it's obvious. He's going to retain. Sammy's going to have like amazing reception in the crowd. And I don't know how I feel.
I don't know how to feel either. It bums me out. It really bums me out because Sammy.
Yeah.
I will always love Sammy because he's just an amazing person in and out of the ring. He works so hard. And it's just like, man, when is he going to have his turn?
I was going to say, but we're not at the predictions yet, but I was going to say, what if Kevin Owens comes back and helps Sami Zayn so he could win? And then, oh no, only for Kevin Owens to low blow him.
Oh God,
Like,
I will cry. I will cry.
Too.
I will cry and just, I will cry and sit on the porch because there's just no way. There's no way.
Yeah.
I cannot emotionally prepare for that. There's just no way. But yeah, that's the prediction. I'm predicting that Drew will ultimately retain and Sammy, I love you so much.
Yeah.
You deserve, but oh my God.
Who has the better beard, Drew or Sammy?
I would say Sammy, because his looks softer and fluffy. Drew's looks very tailored. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, there's nothing wrong with a tailored beard, but Sammy just looks like a type of beard.
Yeah.
Like his beard just looks very soft and like the type of beard you can trust. A little bit more. I don't know. I don't know how to explain that, but I've gone to school. You know, I went to college with people with beards like Sammy's. So I just tend to lean more towards that. So
Sammy's beard looks stop motion and looks like a stop motion cartoon. Like,
but it's well kept, and his hair is well kept too. And that's not to say that Drew's isn't, because his hair and everything is very well kept as well. Drew's a handsome hunk of a man.
He really is.
You know, he's just evil is all get out. He's just so evil. He's just a crash out. He's just a crash out, and he needs help. But you know,
with the sharp goatee. Look at
he's a crash out with a sharp goatee,
right? And widow's peak. Look at that! Look at that form. Look at that peak.
Help us, but yeah, I love Sammy's beard, and Sammy's beard deserves to have a championship. Aww. It really does, and I'm tired of it. I'm just ready for more for him. I'm ready for more.
I am too.
Oh God! But let's move on.
Yeah. Oh Lord.
Let's move on to more emotional matches. We have AJ Styles versus Gunther. This is a career-threatening match. If AJ loses, he has to retire. If Gunther loses, he'll just cry about it, but you know, he'll still be here. Bianca, what are your predictions for this match? I know it's very emotionally charged because we are still somewhat stinging from the retirement of John Cena. So to have to reach this point is just kind of hard. But Bianca, tell me what you think.
I don't want to say it. I don't want to think it. But it's, again, it's sad to say, but it's quite obvious at this point. The last two retirement tours, the last 2 retirement matches for Kurt Angle. I want him to win too, but I don't know. I mean, the last 2 with Kurt Angle and John Cena's careers were ended by Gunther. And now we're at the 3rd career-ending match. But on a positive note, I want it to be like a WrestleMania 40 moment, night 2, where like the big leagues, people like CM Punk and all the good guys help him to retain, so he doesn't retire by WrestleMania, because it wouldn't be right not seeing AJ's titles.
So what you're saying is you want everybody to come in and interfere in this match, like bloodline rule style, to keep AJ from retiring.
That would be amazing.
I mean, it would be, but within the rules of this match, I imagine that this would be a traditional match where, if any involvement happens, there's a DQ.
Yeah.
So, let's just I appreciate that thought, but let's just bring it back to reality a little. No shade, Bianca, I'm sorry, but let's just bring it back a little. Let's just bring it back a little bit to reality a little. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. That Fish wins. He beats AJ, and then his retirement match, and then AJ's done. Oh god, I don't want that to happen. But calling a spade at this point. But I do want AJ to win.
I think this is really hard for me because the way that I feel about AJ possibly retiring doesn't match up with how I felt about John Cena, because I as a wrestling fan did not see AJ Styles's rise from the jump like a lot of people did. Like, there are some people who had been following him from his time in WCW to TNA to to Japan and everywhere else, and then WWE. There are some people who have been following him since then, and I had not. And
Same.
I have to be real about that.
Mm-hmm.
But I do appreciate and I do love him as a performer. And the thing that bothers me the most about him, having to retire this early, is knowing that he has so much more gas in his tank. Like, the match he had with Shinsuke was absolutely nuts. Like, this man could still go hard if he really wanted to. But I also feel like him possibly retiring at his prime is the point, because quite honestly, like I've said in previous episodes, like, there have been people who have had to retire due to health problems that they've sustained, due to injuries they've sustained, and they don't get to have a moment to really bask and smell the flowers just due to politics and other crazy stuff that have happened. So I think that's the point of what we're living in now. We're living in people get to legend status, and still be able to operate, but then decide themselves that I'm going to be over. Or I'm going to be done with this, while I can say I can be done with this, while I can have control over it. And that's something that I do appreciate. And I have always appreciated his talent, and I love, just the quality of matches he's had. With that being said, I feel like Gunther is going to beat him, but I also feel like we're going to see him wrestle elsewhere before he decides to hang it up some more.
Let's get it. Oh. I can see that.
Yeah.
He's in that TNA?
He's visited TNA because he was on the premiere episode they had on AMC. So, I feel like I just feel like he's going to wrestle somewhere else. Whether it's TNA, whether it's AEW, New Japan, wherever, I just feel like he's going to go a little bit back to his roots first before he just hangs it up completely. So he'll retire in WWE,
Yeah.
but he won't retire everywhere else.
No.
That's what I feel like is going to happen. But Gunther ultimately is going to win, and he'll be just known as the career killer, and we will boo him forever until Kingdom Come. But, you know, I'm predicting that Gunther will win this match, and he will retire AJ in WWE, but we will see AJ wrestle elsewhere. And let me just say this. I think it's so interesting that Gunther just has all this trash to talk about him retiring these older wrestlers and stuff, but yet his entire persona is based off of old school wrestlers. Like, I thought about that while I was listening to his interview he had with Michael Cole, and how he was talking about, you know, how older superstars or legends just take the shine off of him. And I'm just sitting here like, bro, you're saying this, but you're literally like the reincarnation of like the Bruno Sammartinos of the world, and a lot of the OGs from back in the day, like Gorgeous George and folks like that. But yet you feel the need to disrespect legends over and over again and be like, oh, well, I'm gonna take them out. Oh, like, and as if one day can't nobody take you out.
Yeah.
That's gonna happen to you one day.
Right.
So let's not sit here and pretend like the same thing can happen to you. So I just think that's just really funny how he, you know, talks about how the mat is sacred and he's like the old style of professional wrestling, but yet and still you keep trying to get rid of the old style. Like, sir, what is your deal?
He does give off the old school vibe. Not that she's saying that.
Like everything about him, like that's been his whole deal since he came up through NXT UK and everything. Like that's him. Like that was Imperium's whole shtick. Like the mat is sacred. Like they prefer the craft of the wrestling and not really the flashy, you know, stuff. Like they prefer like the old style of the thing. And it's just so ironic that that's what you pattern yourself after, but yet and still you disrespect the OGs. Where they do that at? Make that make sense.
I miss when he was in a tag team. I forgot about Imperium until you said.
Yeah, I miss the whole of Imperium as well, and I do miss Ludwig Kaiser doing his intro because that was fun and highly underrated.
I may sound slow when I say this, but I just came to the realization. I don't know. Is El Grande Americano Ludwig Kaiser, or is Ludwig Kaiser Grande Americano? Yeah,
Ludwig
right.
Kaiser.
Look at the
Ludwig Kaiser is El Grande Americano. Yes, you're right. It's okay. You're not slow. You're not slow. No. Bianca, no. Bianca, no. Okay. You're not slow. You're not slow. I promise you're not slow.
Okay.
I just feel like for certain wrestling fans, it just takes a minute, you know, to get stuff like that, because you see the person in the mask and when you watch the show at face value, you're not really thinking about it, so it's okay. You're not slow.
Don't pay attention. It's just stupid. But
it's
it
okay.
was just this moment that I saw the eyes. I was like, is that Ludwig Kaiser? Why are they doing this?
It is. It's him. But you're not slow. God. You're not slow.
Thank you.
It's okay. You're welcome. Yes. There are no such things as stupid questions on the Hardy Wrestling Podcast. Yeah. So yeah, Gunther is gonna win. And then there's another point I wanted to make about Gunther too. With him being, you know, labeled as the career killer, or basically just their way of saying the legend killer in a way. I think it's very interesting how he's being patterned as this legend killer, and he talks about how he tapped out John Cena.
Yeah.
As if John Cena didn't ultimately choose himself to tap out. Like within the context of the story, you're acting as if John Cena was just struggling to get loose and just had no choice but to give up. That's not what happened.
That smile, though. Oh my God.
Exactly. It was John Cena smiling and realizing that that was it, and he decided himself to tap out. He didn't give up because I can't do it. Blah, 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 blah. No, that's not what happened. That's not what happened.
People are saying that because of that, John Cena did ultimately retire a heel because he tapped out and gave up.
That's ridiculous. I don't agree with that. let's erase that. That's stricken from the record. I don't like that, but either way, I mean, John Cena chose to let go. So
Yeah.
if he chose to let go, how is it that you, Gunther, are just walking around saying, I made him tap out like a little B? No, he didn't tap out like a B. He went out like a G because he chose to go. Okay.
Yeah.
He chose to leave when he wanted to leave. So don't do that. And that just bothers me how Gunther does that. But moving on, I just feel like, yeah, Gunther, yeah, he's gonna win, but he's not gonna retire AJ. He's gonna retire AJ in WWE, but we're gonna see AJ elsewhere. And here again, he's gonna brag like he really retired him, but full on, sweetie, no. We gonna find out, but you know. And now, of course, we move towards the
Oh
men's
God, no.
Royal Rumble, which I would argue is the hardest to predict, and it's even more the hardest to predict. Hey, for watching
What's
from Twitch.
so
I feel like this is the hardest to predict because, of course, the way last year went, we did not expect Jey Uso to win the whole thing, and he won it. But then he also said he wanted to come back and win it a second time. So I don't know. But then, of course, you have all of everybody and their mama in it. You got Roman Reigns, who is declared. You even have Pumpkinhead, who's declared. So whatever. And then you also have Oba Femi,
yes.
who is making his main roster debut in the Royal Rumble.
Yes. I'm
My
so
God.
happy. Oh my God. Hell yeah. Whatever.
I was so happy. I was so happy when he said that. You also have all of the Vision members in the Royal Rumble. And then you also have Finn Balor, who tried to get in the Royal Rumble, but then Adam Pearce told him that it was full, but I don't understand how that's possible considering, Pumpkinhead declared for the Royal Rumble on Pat McAfee, so I don't know. I am so conflicted about the men Royal Rumble, because I actually have 3 predictions as to who could win. But I'm gonna let you go first, Bianca.
Oh God. Cody Rhodes has had his time. So
Yep, he's won twice.
I won't put him in the running. You've had your turn. Congratulations. You were a great champion, but this year is not your year, Cody Rahim. Who could win? I would love a Roman Reigns win. That guy's funny. Oh my God, he's trying not to laugh. Like he. Who else? I would love a Penta win. That would be great. Oba. Wow. Okay. Oba Femi, Roman Reigns, Penta.
Those are great choices.
I'll mention Jey Uso again.
Yeah. All those are great choices.
Hogan Paul gets eliminated immediately.
Yes.
We never wanted him.
Yeah. But all of your predictions are very solid predictions, and they're low-key fall within the same predictions that I have. I predicted Oba Femi was going to win. Simply because I want to see him versus Drew McIntyre for the championship. I want to see Oba Femi versus Drew McIntyre for the championship because I just feel like that would get my blood flowing, number 1. And number 2, they have unfinished business from Saturday night's main event on the John Cena Final Match show because Oba was fighting Cody, not for the title, but he was fighting Cody, and he could have beaten him for all we know if it wasn't for Drew McIntyre interrupting that match. So what type of wouldn't it be a sweet type of justice to see Oba Femi dominate and win the whole dang Royal Rumble and then challenge Drew McIntyre? That would be amazing at WrestleMania. Oh Jesus, that would be amazing. I would love that. I would love that so much. Oba, he just, I just feel like this event is low key written for him to succeed in it. So even if he doesn't win, I feel like he'll be like a part, like at least the final 4.
Yeah.
Or even the final 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I just feel like this is tailor made for him to win. It could be. It really could be tailor made for him to win this whole thing. Because there's mystery. He's shrouded in mystery to a degree when it comes to the main roster. Not with NXT, but when it comes to the main roster. So I'm ready. I'm prepared. I want Oba to win. He is my top choice to win the men's Royal Rumble. It's just perfect.
What we need is Booker T on commentary.
Oh, Jesus. I miss him for
Me
Trick.
too.
Oh, God. I miss him for Trick. Oh, God. But Oba is my guy. He's just my fave. He's the final boss of men, the final boss of black men for a reason, and I just feel like he has to win the Royal Rumble. He has to. But I'll also say that Finn Balor is a very strong favorite for me. I don't know how he's going to get in it, but he's a strong favorite because of the match he had with CM Punk in his hometown in Ireland. That was amazing, and I was really close. I really felt like he was this close to winning. He was really close, but he had a good showing. But then, of course, you have CM Punk in his ear telling him, "Look, if you really want to go for the title like you say you do, you're gonna have to drop the Judgment Day." But then you got Liv in his ear as well. And then, of course, on Raw, he attacked CM Punk again. So I don't know what that's gonna mean in the grand scheme of everything. But I wouldn't mind if Finn won the Royal Rumble because he's never won it. And we've seen him win so many other championships, but never won the big one. And I do find it interesting that on NXT this past Tuesday, they did like a spotlight on him and his growth as an NXT star from the indies and stuff, only for him to, rise up in NXT and he did win the Universal Championship, but he had to give it up because he was injured and he never won a big title like that ever again. And that's not fair. Yeah. So I really feel like this year is his year. And he is a close second behind Obafemi in terms of my favorite to win. Like full on. Because he deserves that. He deserves that.
He does.
Mm-hmm.
With those washboard abs.
Oh yes, he does not eat any carbs. Like every time I think about him and his abs, I think about that time where John Moxley / Dean Ambrose gave him a donut and told him, for God's sake, dude, eat a carb. And he ate a carb in front of us on TV, but he only ate like a piece of a donut.
No, not a piece.
He ate a piece, but you know what? You don't get a body like that eating donuts. You got to be disciplined out here.
Yeah. Oof.
You got to be disciplined. And he is very disciplined. My God. So, yes, he's a top favorite for me to win the Royal Rumble. I would love it if he did. You also have LA Knight. We have not seen him in a minute. We haven't seen him since he got attacked backstage by the Vision. So he could pop up and that could be amazing. And if he would win, that would get the people going because he's definitely a crowd favorite, an internet darling that people really want to see reach up to the highest level. So if he wins, that would be amazing. I would love it. I would love it. You don't understand.
Oh, I know.
No, I wasn't saying like you really don't understand. Like I was just saying like, look, bro, like if LA Knight wins the whole thing, I'll be like, yeah, I'll be so excited. Yeah. Oh my God, I would love it. But yeah, we haven't seen him in a minute, so I hope we're gonna see him relatively soon. He could stage a comeback here at the Rumble, and it'll be cool. So, LA Knight, we miss you. We miss you. Come back, please. And then, of course, you have the Roman Reigns of it all, seeking to take back his throne of sorts.
Oh, I believe. Oh no, did she freeze? Stephanie. Oh no, I think she froze. Oh no. Oh no, Stephanie. I believe Stephanie has some technical difficulties. Oh no. Oh no. Well, if you guys are still here, Stephanie was talking about her predictions that Roman Reigns would win the Royal Rumble. He, he's one of my contenders. He's one of my what's that word? Oh no. He's one of my top contenders for winning the Royal Rumble as well. And yeah, I'm very excited. I'm just trying to keep this podcast going. And yeah, I'm very excited about the Royal Rumble and seeing Roman Reigns. How long has it been? It's been a while since we've seen this hunk of meat. I don't know who. Oh wait, hold on. I guess we have someone. Oh, are we back? Are we? Girl.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My battery died and I had to plug it in. My bad. Okay,
Oh.
so we're just gonna have to do it without my mic, but it's okay. I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm upside down. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna fix it. Oh God, I'm so sorry, y'all.
Oh my God.
So I'm back, guys. But yeah, we have the Roman Reigns of it all, and him trying to reclaim his throne. I actually had a working theory, involving Roman Reigns, and his championship and bloodline aspirations. I kind of felt like he was sort of using Jay and Jimmy to sort of get back to their former glory, but I wasn't. But I'm not entirely sure like how that was gonna go. So I don't know if if he would win this Royal Rumble just yet. I'm not sure. But he just keeps saying, like, the last time we saw him, it was like for Survivor Series War Games. And he told CM Punk or Cody, and Cody that, look, if I choose to go after a title, it'll be either you or you. So if he wins the Royal Rumble, he could go after Drew, and that would be cool. Because, I mean, even though we have seen that before, or he could go after Punk, and they could finish their business from WrestleMania last year. So it's nuts. But Roman, he's a solid choice. And he was a solid choice last year. But then again, last year went a completely different way. So you just never know. Yeah, you just never know. But he's a pretty solid choice. Now, of course, in terms of more surprises, I'm predicting that Powerhouse Hobbs can make his debut here.
Wow.
Because he did just sign with WWE.
He did.
He did, yes.
I did
That
not
was
know
breaking
that.
news. Yes, he signed with WWE. So I feel like if we see an appearance from him on Saturday, that would be cool. Not saying or confirming anything, but I just feel like if he did, that would be pretty awesome.
He was on AEW, right?
Yeah, he was in AEW. He was a tag team champion, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, a TNA champion. I might be wrong. I'm not sure, but he was never world heavyweight champion there, and that bothers me. He was never AEW world champion, and that definitely bothers me. And I know there will be some fans who might argue that he, didn't have it. But my thing is, looks wise, it's like he just looks like a champion. So for the life of me, I don't understand why that never happened for him. Yeah. But, that's water on the bridge now. So hopefully, he will succeed and blossom in WWE. And if he does make his debut on Saturday, that would be amazing. That would be a great way to bounce into the WWE of things, because even Jade Cargill did that. She made her in-ring debut at the Royal Rumble. Even though she would pop up on different shows here and there, she didn't get into the ring until that Royal Rumble. So, yeah, you just never know. But if Powerhouse Hobbs decides to show up Saturday, I'll be really excited about it. So yeah, that's the end of our predictions Royal Rumble tribute show. So thank you guys so much for watching live even through the technical difficulties. I know it can be really hard. And I'm pretty sure my voice quality did very much change just because my battery died. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching and for celebrating with us. And I hope you guys have fun Saturday, however you choose to watch the Royal Rumble, whether it's at a watch party or whether it's at home, or if you just so happen to be in Saudi Arabia and you listen to podcasts and you just so happen to stumble upon this show. I hope you guys are going and having fun there because that's awesome. So I know I had fun last year, so please go and have fun in Saudi Arabia if you're watching or listening somewhere, or whatever. And yeah, just get on this road to WrestleMania and have fun. And Bianca, of course, I'm grateful for you being a part of the show and coming on with me. So yeah, tell everybody where they can find and follow you and what you've got going on.
Well, you can follow me on, if you want to know me on a personal level and see what I have got going on with my life or anything, you can follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at Bianca Addison, Bianca. And you can find my name is on the screen. But I also I also am building and starting a journey to becoming a wrestling ring announcer. So I have an Instagram where I post my videos on there. You can follow that on at Ebony Rose Ringside. That's EBONI Rose Ringside. And you can follow me and support my journey there because there's great things in store. And I'm really excited about it. Nothing's set in stone, but things are gonna happen. But I'm excited. I'm so excited.
That's so good. And I'm so happy for you. So, of course, you can follow me, your girl Stephanie Hardy, on Instagram and Twitter at Queen Steph Hardy. You can also follow the show, The Hardy Wrestling Podcast, on Instagram at Hardy Wrestling Podcast and on Twitter at Hardy Wrestle Pod. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is The Hardy Wrestling Podcast with the logo in the top corner over there. Subscribe to the channel, share any clips that you might see on social media, repost and copy links and share things. And of course, just continue to support the brand, support HWP Xtra and also Steph and Cat Talk Wow, which will be having a new episode on tomorrow as we talk about the most recent episode of WoW Superheroes Women of Wrestling and the drama that's happening there. So we're going to get into that. And of course, continue to support me and my journey and whatever happens there because there is some stuff cooking. So just be on the lookout for that because more than likely I'm going to post about it. So, if you just continue to support, we'll continue to have eyes on us and more great things will happen. So, of course, this has been HWP Xtra. Brought to you by The Hardy Wrestling Podcast with your girls, Stephanie and Bianca. And of course, until next time, please stay safe, have fun, stay warm because, of course, the winter crud was happening. But of course, stay warm and do the very best you can in this life and be a good person.
Yes, and be safe out there.
Be safe.
Be on the right side of history. Bye.
Exactly. Bye, y'all.